Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of um, The Hidden Truth, the Undivided Truth, the podcast by me, Blue Rose. That's what I'm going by on this channel. Um, Micah is gonna be on the other channel. In case you guys have been watching that channel. Um, planning on doing a video today for that channel a little bit later, but as for right now, we're going to be talking about the world of wrestling and NXT specifically and basketball. So last night was NXT. The week after Heat Wave. I think Heat Wave was a really solid show. Like a lot of good things happened on there. The Carmelo Hayes match versus Wesley match was good. The Ilya Dragunov match versus Trick Williams was good as well. Um, I kind of had Trick winning. I don't know why I would think that, but I did. And Ilya Dragunov is moving on. He's moving on to possibly getting the main event spot. But as for right now, like it kind of looked like from last night they tailed and they got him doing another program with a program with Noam Dar. Um, or at least they're probably shaping him up to face Noam Dar at some point. So I want to see where that goes because Noam Dar is actually one of my favorites. I think he's very enjoyable on the mic. He's pretty much like I think he's like slightly above average, and as far as wrestling, he has the tools to be a great wrestler. He's such a great wrestler in my opinion. But um and I actually wanted him to beat Fraser. Uh, Nathan Fraser. No offense to him. Yo, that match, Nathan Fraser I don't know if you saw the match, Nathan Fraser versus Joe Coffey, I think it was. Yeah, it was against Joe Coffey. Yeah, he was running the ropes, man. He got his neck caught on the rope. I was like, bro. They were like in the commentary team, like they had to make up something. Like they like he were like he got caught. Like he really got caught by the rope, man. I don't know what he must have had so much damn coffee or something. Like he was off the caffeine when he was running the ropes because his even his in his entrance he ran down to the ring and he was like speeding to the ring. Like so I thought it was crazy, man. But I hope he's all right. He looked like that really did do something to him. Those ropes, like people who never wrestled in their life or never heard wrestlers talk about running the ropes is actually one of the most grueling things to do, other than getting hit on the mat, because the mat hurts just as hard as the ropes, I think, in my opinion. But um, just from what I've heard of wrestlers talk about wrestling, like it's not. And then when they had stuff like barbed wire to the ropes, oh my gosh, like I can't even imagine. That's steel cable. It's like a steel cable wrapping on, and once that hits your back, like or your neck or wherever part like you hit it, that hurts. But Heat Wave was great. Even the start of the show when they before like the pre-show, like when they had Tony D'Angelo and Stacks like beefing up like everybody in the matches that were going to happen. Um, then we had this week the Fatal Four Way match. I really thought that Blair Davenport was about to win this Fatal Four Way, but maybe they're trying to build her up slowly. If they really gave her the number one contender shot, like where would she go from there? She would just win this belt, and then like she wouldn't really have anybody to face or anything. And I think they're slowly trying to build up Tiffany Stratton. That's why they had Kiana James win the match, but it is what it is. I mean, I wanted Blair to win. Blair is the person I cheer for. Roxanne Perez, I didn't want her to win because I feel like she gets too many opportunities. She's like low key, like turning into Roman Reigns, low key. Like I remember when people used to hate Roman Reigns because he would get so many opportunities at championships and whatnot, and everybody would be like, "Well, when somebody else gonna get a shot?" Like Roman had like 10 title opportunities at this point. That's kind of like what Roxanne Perez reminds me of. But when I hear her speak on the mic, she kind of reminds me of AJ Lee. But I'm a huge AJ Lee fan. Like I couldn't see myself getting into somebody like Roxanne Perez. She's talented, but like nah. Blair Davenport, she's more. She does more than what like. I think she's awesome. Honestly, like her wrestling attire is fire most of the time. Then she got her finisher, which is dope as hell, and her signature is dope as hell as well. So like that's like I think that's like the ball mark of what makes a wrestler first. Like they're having a devastating finisher and signature is what makes a wrestler, and then like everything else falls into place. Like if you could talk, then that's like 75% of the battle, and then 25% is wrestling. If you're really great at wrestling, then damn. But I think she's a total package in my opinion. She just needs to be put in the right feud. But yeah, so she ended up losing. So did Roxanne Perez, and Gigi Dolan is actually the person who got pinned. So which heading into the match, I thought Gigi was gonna get pinned. Um, they could have made an elimination match. That's what I was saying earlier. I thought they could have made an elimination match to make it more seem more like um suspenseful about who's gonna be last to get pinned. But just because they had a regular fatal four way, I pretty much knew Gigi Dolan was taking the pin. Like, no offense to her, but like, out of every competitor in the match, she's not the strongest competitor. Um, you got you got Blair Davenport, who I think is head and shoulders above the rest. Then you got Roxanne Perez, which I think she'll probably be second. Kiana James is third, and then Gigi Dolan would be like last. But the least likely to win the match is the person who won the match. And you know what's so funny about Kiana James and Tiffany Stratton facing each other now? They kind of have the same gimmick. If you know like they both bring like purses down to the ring, and um they both like act like preppy or whatever like that. So like I feel like they both like fit each other. If they if nothing else happens, like if they once Tiffany Stratton beats her, because I pretty much think she's gonna beat her. Once she beats her, they could probably go for the tag team titles. They could form an alliance and be like, "Well, you brought out the best in me or whatever." Like, so I feel like I respect you now, and now we could form an alliance and become like tag team champions and rule all of NXT. Like they could do that, and even have they could even if they want to build up Kiana James, have her go overseas and win the NXT UK Championship, and then have her come back and win the tag team championships with Tiffany Stratton, and just have them like run NXT. Like I think that'd be nuts. But hey, I'm kind of just blabbering. But if they really did something like that, I think it would be cool. No, even though I'm not a fan of either of them. Back when they had the tournament, I pretty much pinpointed that Tiffany Stratton was gonna win, and that was even way before I wasn't even watching NXT weekly at that point. But I just saw its star power, and I feel like Tiffany Stratton had that star power. She just needed that extra push, and giving her the title is that extra push she needed. So, you have stars on the roster who don't even need a title to be relevant. So, um I feel like giving her that title would give her a little bit more oomph to her. So I felt like that at the time that was the right decision to go with Tiffany Stratton. And So slowly but surely, it's starting to work out for them. They're trying to build her up, like give her opponents who are at her level, and then like slowly but surely giving her the people like Roxanne Perez and stuff like that. So then, when the time comes where they have to, she becomes like one near like one of the longest reigning NXT Women's Champions. She will have a tough opponent, and then that tough opponent will come in, and they'll have a banger match. But I like the direction that they're going with NXT, and I honestly think of what happened with the segments last night with Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes, he might get turned on by Trick Williams. I'm sensing it, man. I'm sensing it. Trick Williams is gonna get jealous, and he's gonna be like, "Well, you needed me to beat Ilya Dragunov. You couldn't beat him by yourself." Even though he said like, I don't think you can. I know you can beat Ilya Dragunov. I think he might turn on him, honestly. And if he does, man, that would be a crazy match. Trick Williams versus Carmelo Hayes for the NXT Championship. It's bound to happen at some point. But Trick Williams, he just needs to get some wins under his belt first, because he's been taking some losses. But that's about all I got to say about NXT. I'm gonna see if I can watch AEW tonight. I'm trying to see if I can catch it. Hopefully, I got enough time to do that. Um, if I'm not doing anything else. And now we're gonna segue into basketball talk. So the NBA, recently the NBA has been talking about getting an expansion team, and expansion teams are something that have been discussed um years prior in the NBA about like what cities should they go to, and where they should plant their seeds so they could reap what they sow. And I honestly think in my mind that it's not going to be the new expansion team is not going to be in Seattle. I think it might be in New Jersey, because you already have the New York Jets and the New York Giants who play at MetLife Stadium and the NFL. If you brought something to New Jersey like the Izod Center, because I feel like it's just some place that doesn't really get used anymore, or maybe they updated it and it's not called the Izod Center, but last time I remember it was called the Izod Center. But maybe if they go somewhere like there and they revamp New Jersey, give something that's like popular in New Jersey a name for as a name for the team for New Jersey. I think that would be I think that would be a good idea. Now, as for what I think they should do, like as far as what name should they come up with the team, I'm thinking like probably like New Jersey Kings or New Jersey Dogs. Um, but dogs like spelled like um DAWGS. So that's kind of like a few names that I've been thinking of, but let me know like what teams you guys think that they should have. What expansion team do you think they should have? What place do you think they should go for the expansion team? Be interested to hear your comments, what you guys got to say. Let's talk about All In as well. So at All In, we had Will Ospreay versus Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho lost cleanly in the middle of the ring to Will Ospreay. He did try to cheat to win, which um made sense because in aspect of the storyline because they are in London, which Will Ospreay's from. So it's of course going to his homeland. Um, Chris Jericho is gonna be. He's definitely gonna be the heel. He's not gonna be the face there. People are gonna be cheering for Will Ospreay, even though heading into the rivalry, Will Ospreay pretty much was the heel. He would sneak attack Chris Jericho. That was until Chris Jericho sneaks attacked him days before their event that they had. Um, I thought it was a stellar match. Probably like a 4.5 out of 5. If I had to rate it. Um, I don't like when matches have too many high spots. I mean, I like high spots, I do, because I'm an RVD fan, but I feel like sometimes high spots they need to have like meaning to it. Like you can't just do a high spot to do a high spot. And I felt like in that match there wasn't too many high spots that didn't have any meaning. Like it was if they did a high spot it was to set up something else, which is usually the route where I feel like wrestling is better when you do high spots. But it was a solid match. I wanted Chris Jericho to win obviously because if you guys know me, you know Chris Jericho is my favorite of all time. Um, but it made sense for Osprey to win. Just like it made sense for Saraya to win that Fatal 4 match between her, Tony Storm, Britt Baker, and Hikaru Shida. And people were saying like they basically spoiled the ending when they had her come out with her family and her entrance. I would say that too, but honestly, if it was a company like WWE, she probably still lose the match, even though she came out with her family. I'm not gonna lie to you, like WWE, they do stuff like that just to tick off crowds, like sometimes, because they know they're gonna get like a pop out of somebody, like they'll get that cheap heat. Cheap heat is like something that a lot of people in the business look to generate because it's the easiest way to get heat. And cheap heat, like in case nobody knows what cheap heat is, it's basically when you go to a stadium or arena and you talk about that stadium or arena's baseball team, basketball team, football team, talking about like if they have a losing record, talking about how bad they stink, and then making a remark in the tone of like saying like, well, this team stinks. That's why I don't watch this team, and that's why this opponent who's probably from that arena or place or whatever is just as bad as it's just as bad. This place is just as bad as said wrestler from that place or whatever. Insert wrestler, but that's basically how you get cheap heat. And I feel like a lot of people use cheap heat nowadays. It used to be like something that would be few and far between, like earlier in wrestling when I first started watching wrestling, like 2001 or um, like when Kurt Angle came on the scene, like in 99 2000. Cheap heat was like it was kind of popular. Kurt Angle would use cheap heat a lot during his first run with WWE, but as people grew and I got older and started watching wrestling a little bit more, people would not use cheap heat all that much, and I'm glad. Like I like to see um flourishing, like more people flourishing in different areas and stuff like that. Um, like talking about like just talking to talk, like saying how good you are and then like berating your opponent. Like I feel like that's a better way of getting heat than going for cheap heat. Like cheap heat only lasts for so long. Um, But with that being said, that's where I'm gonna leave it. So I hope you guys stay along for the journey. I got some more stuff coming up. On my new channel. I mean, on my I keep saying new channel, but my primary channel. So it's called Real Micah Rose. You could check it out on my YouTube, and you could also check it out on TikTok, Twitch, Twitter. I'm actually doing a giveaway on Twitter for one of these a company that I'm an affiliate with. So I'm doing a giveaway for them, and it's gonna be you can get a free bottle of gummies from me if you're like one of the first 20 people to use my referral link and use my coupon code. I'm gonna be talking more in detail about that on my kick. If you want the link to my kick, I'll leave it down in the chat, and you guys can follow me over there. I got some great videos coming out soon. Um, Soon meaning probably later today. And that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, a comment, and definitely subscribe to my channel as I'll have more videos for the Undivided Truth podcast, where we just discuss all of wrestling and talk basically basketball facts, and like talk news. Basically talking about like who you think is going to be the league MVP for next year, and all things basketball as the new game comes out in less than a week right now, and just looking forward to all of that stuff, and I hope you guys are too, and stay along for the ride. With that being said, I'll see you guys later. Just remember protocol, we rise together, we'll rise together, and if you rise with me, then you will never be forgotten. But with that being said, I also want to say on here, rest in peace to Bray Wyatt. Um, Thank you for all you have done for wrestling, all the creative mind that you are, and everything, and how you basically you shaped a generation, um, and being a generational talent like yourself, you basically made me happy. Everything that you have done on TV, I've always been glued to the TV to the point where um the next day or next night I would catch like just about every promo that you would do, because like, and there was times where I would lose my way of watching WWE, but you always brought me back into it with your your smile, your joy, and then like your enthusiasm for all the characters that you've created. Um, the cult leader Bray, and then like the fiend Bray, and then the newer character that you were about to portray, that you portrayed as well. Um, I may have not always been interested in everything that you do. Um, because I was never a Husky Harris fan. I'll tell you that first, flat out, right now. But um, I always thought that there was something in you. There was always something deeper than what it seemed, and I'm glad that you got to explore that. And win the WWE Championship at Elimination Chamber by pinning a great, phenomenal performer like AJ Styles, and you got to face John Cena at WrestleMania, get your win back, and um, and have that moment in the ring with the Undertaker. It was special. I wish I could have saw that live, but um, yeah. Thank you for everything, man. And I know you're just somewhere resting and having creating a promo with Luke Harper right behind you, right beside you, or something. But yeah, I'm out of here, and I'll see you guys soon on my primary channel. See you later. Sayonara.